Okay, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to make this brief. It's not going to be long. Something that I read the other day, and it really blew my mind. So I'm going to give it to you. I want you to pay close attention. I want you to think of two shapes. Okay, it doesn't have to be a square. It can't be a square. Okay, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be small. And I want you to know these two shapes. And when you get these two shapes in your mind, I want you to visualize them and give each shape a color. Okay? These two shapes, give them a color, and I'm going to ask you a question. Were the two shapes a circle and a triangle? And was the colors blue and red? Okay. If the shapes were a triangle and a circle, and if the colors were blue and red, the reason why you thought of those objects and those colors is because I told you. Okay? I'm going to go over it again. Watch this. I want you to, I'm going to say it like this. Something that I read the other day and it blew my mind. Okay? And I want you to think of two shapes. It doesn't have to be a square, and it doesn't have to be perfect. If you notice my hands, I'm doing this. So that's like a circle and that's like the triangle. And the colors I told you were red and blue, something that I read the other day and it blew my mind. So if the colors were red and blue and it was a triangle and it was a circle, that means that I subliminally, through your subconscious, implanted those in your mind without you even realizing it. And that's how things are done to you 24/7, meaning that they use psychological manipulation to control your thoughts, control how you act, control what you eat, control what you do, all at a subliminal level. That's why I'm always coming on here telling you to free your minds. Like it says, you can be in the world, but not of the world. Separate yourself from the things that are going on that you perceive are going on, or they tell you, and it's not. Because there are things that are happening that you're not paying attention to. I told you all last week, pay attention to Florida and Texas because there's storms coming again. I told you all that a week ago. Watch and see what happens next. Okay? Another thing, too, is that whoever is the gatekeeper of your information, or the gatekeeper of your knowledge, is the one that tells you how to think. Not what to think. Tells you what to think, pardon me, not how to think. Meaning that if you all sit and listen to the television, or if you sit and watch movies, because in movies, they are constantly, subliminally attacking you and you don't know it. Let me give you an example of something about a movie that you don't know and they won't tell you. You ever see a movie where it's dealing with money and they say to the person, I want you to pay $5 million ransom. Come up with $5 million and it's a ransom. You got to get it here by someone, such and such. Okay, what happens? They go get the whole stuff together and they show you a person walking in with a suitcase, and in the suitcase there's $5 million, and they just throw it on top of the desk or put it on the table somewhere. What they don't tell you is this: that $5 million weighs 100 pounds. $1 million weighs an average of 20 pounds. Look it up, research it. So when they show you this person carrying a suitcase or a bag with $5 million, and they're able just to toss it up on top of the counter, they bullshitting you because you don't have the knowledge of how much that money really weighs. Because if it really was $5 million, they're not going to take it and just toss it on the counter. They're going to have to really put that $100 dead weight on the counter. But they don't show you that. They tell you things on television. They tell you the illnesses that you have. If you got a headache, it's an Excedrin headache. So you go to the store and you buy Excedrin. But if you have a back pain or if you have any type of illness, what do? They just tell you to take these pills rather than what's the cause of you having these pills. These aches and pains. What's causing that? They don't give a fuck about the cause. All they care about is selling you some pills that's going to deaden the pain, alleviate it, and you're going to feel better and you're going to feel good as long as you take those pills. They're not about healing or curing or making things better for you. It's about keeping you under their power, under their control. That's the game. Now, you're going to see when the elections start coming up, you're going to see all kinds of shit going on with it. And they're going to get you caught up in that. And you're going to be arguing out there, fussing and fighting over who won and who didn't win and what didn't happen. Nothing to do with you. You have no control over that. You don't get yourself caught up in that. You leave those things behind. Again, like if you, when I first went on and you did that circle and that triangle and the color red and blue, if I can do that to you, if I can do that, think about what's being done to you at a higher level, a higher frequency. They're sending things out. You see, I'm also wearing my Oregon pendants. I'm wearing this now because the shit is getting thick out there. That 5G is no joke. And I tell you, I'm going to tell you again, if you're not getting your Oregon and your Orgonite, you're going to wish that you had, because the next step when they come out with is going to really, really send some people over the top. Like you just saw that movie Cell. Go look at that movie Cell, and it'll tell you how things are going to be taking place with those frequencies. Go watch the movie They Live and see how it is that they're sending out these signals that are programming people subconsciously, and they don't realize what's going on until the guy puts on the glasses. Like Dick Gregory said, the universe gives you a special type of glasses. You wear them, and you'll start seeing stuff that you didn't even know was going on. Start listening to what people say. Listen. Don't just hear, listen. I tell you this here. This is it. Follow me with this. Let's say you're driving a bus and you come to a stop, and the first stop is the letter T, okay? And 5 people get on, and you drive on to the next stop, and the letter is O. 3 people get off, 4 people get on. You go to the last stop, and everybody gets off, but the stop is M. What's the name of the bus driver? Think about it. What's the name of the bus driver? If you said Tom, then you didn't listen to a goddamn thing I said. You heard what I said, but you weren't listening. The first thing I said to you was, you are driving a bus. So what's the name of the bus driver? It's your name. Pay attention. Listen to how things are said, not what they're saying, what is being said that you're not hearing. You hear fine, but you're not listening. You got to listen to what's happening. So I'm just going to end it with that, make it short, like I said. But I'm going to come on later on, tomorrow probably, with some more stuff that's going to be more interesting to you. Again, pay attention to what's going on there in Western Europe. Pay attention to what's going on with North Korea and South Korea. Pay attention to what's going on in Sri Lanka. Pay attention to what's going on in Germany, Italy, Spain. They're going to be coming up with it. And another disease that you already come out with. We'll post a video on it probably tomorrow. And you'll see about a sudden adult death syndrome, whatever that is. You'll see that. I got videos to show you. People are dropping dead on the streets, and they're saying they don't know why. But I'll give you a tape. You can see it. Also, the video I put out yesterday with Dr. Clark and other people talking about black people, people of color, and what's really going on. There's another video I'm going to put out with Dr. Clark explaining some things, but situations happening today. You would think that this was going back in the 70s, but the way that they're talking is as if what's happening is going on now. So remember this. Learn to think, okay? Don't fall for the game. Don't fall for the psychological manipulation that is going on with their verbal statements, because they love doing that, and they'll put people up in your face all the time. And now, what the game is now is divide and conquer. You said this, he said that, I don't like what he said, but we're all in the same boat together. We got to realize that no matter, we are all in this together. Like your brother Malcolm said, when the police come in and start shooting, they ain't going to separate the Christians from the Muslims, from the Baptists, from the Methodists. They're going to come start shooting everybody because they don't care. You follow? So it's time for us to stop bickering. Time for us to stop arguing amongst ourselves. And it's time for us to come together. That's the key. Coming together. That's what's fearful. That's the one thing that these people don't don't want to see the masses coming together unified. Like Gil Scott said, unity will be thrust upon us if we don't come together on our own. So until the next time, pay attention, listen to what's being said, observe, keep your ears and your eyes open. Again, if I can fool you, they can fool you even more. Any of you who appreciate what's going on, what I said, I ask that you donate, contribute, send a love gift, show that you are supporting what we're doing here, and we'll come up with more information in the future. Peace and love to all.